All right, you guys, today we're doing day 2 of bell work. So make sure you have your bell work out. This whole bell work question honestly goes together. They're all talking about the same washing machine equation that they wrote at the very beginning of the bell work. So this whole day 1 through 5 is all about that equation. So today, day 2, it says, what is the x-intercept of the equation? So if you want the x-intercept, that is what is x when y is 0. So what we're going to do is we are going to make our y 0 and solve for x. So 0 equals negative 5x plus 1450. I'm going to subtract 1450 from both sides. So now I have negative 1450 equals negative 5x. I'm going to divide by negative 5 on both sides. And you get x equals 290. And they said also, what does this number mean in the situation? Well, if you go back up to number 1 and you read through, it says Vanessa buys a large washing machine and a new large dryer. She wants to determine how many loads of laundry, or X, will it take before she has earned back the money she has spent back at each machine. So this means she would have to do 290 loads of laundry to break even. So she doesn't owe any money after she does 290 loads of laundry. So that's today's bell work. Okay, so then your substitute should have also given you this worksheet right here. We're going to do some of these together just so you can kind of understand, but hopefully this is more of like a review and it doesn't take too terribly long. The first group, first of all, if you read the directions, it says for each set of exercises there is one answer. Write the letter of this answer to the corresponding box at the right. Some answers are rounded. Okay, so it says there is one extra answer. Write the letter of that answer into the box at the top. So number 1, basically they're wanting to simplify x times x times x times x times x. How many x's was that? Well, that would be raised to the 5th power. So A is V. X to the 9th power would just be x and then raised to the 9th power, which is O. This one, you have a 5 out front and then you have 3 x's, so 5x to the 3rd power, which is P. This one, you're taking 5x times itself 3 times, so you're going to put that in parentheses and you want to raise that whole thing to the power of 3. So the one that is left over is E. So when you go up and you look at your boxes at the very top, you're going to put E in box number 1. Okay, so same thing for number 2. Number 5, it says evaluate for the given variable. So it tells you what number you're going to plug in, and then you have to use your calculator to solve this. So you want to type in 5 times 4 raised to the 2nd power. So type that into your calculator to solve that. We know 5 times 4 is 20, and 20 raised to the 2nd power is 400. So this one is S. So it tells you what number to plug in for X. It tells you what number to plug in for Y. You go ahead and do that, and you solve the question. So it tells you that X is 10, Y is 3. I'm going to type that in exactly how it is with the parentheses and everything. 10 plus 3 raised to the 3rd power. And then I get this number, 2197. So this one is T. So when it tells you to evaluate, it wants you to actually tell them what the number is. So I'm going to go down to like number 6 and help you with B. This one's a fraction, but it tells you what U is. So it's telling you to take 3/4 and raise that to the second power. So type in 3ABC4 and raise that to the second power, which you get 9/16. So all of these can be done in the calculator. So just make sure you're using that. It tells you what number to replace everything with. If you go down here, it's telling you to evaluate. It just wants to know what is 11 squared. That's 11 times 11. Or you could type in 11 squared in your calculator. And you get 121. So A is T. Down here, number 4A, it's telling you to take 4 and raise it to the E power, but then it tells you that E is 3. So 4 to the third power, what is that? And you do 4 caret 3 in your calculator, which is 64. So anytime it's asking you to evaluate, it basically is wanting you to just tell them what the answer is. Once you get down to these squares, remember, these are all squares. So if you know one side, you know the other side. So 5 times 5 is 25. 9.2 times 9.2, 14 times 14, 3.5 times 3.5. Remember, the area of a square is you take your side and you square it. Or you could take length times width. Either way. Down here, we're talking about volume, and remember, volume is length times width times height. And since these are cubes, that means all of them are the same. So 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 times 4, 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5. So I'll do the first one with you. Length times width times height. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So A is 64, which is D. Remember, the one letter that you do not use, that goes up at the very top right here. So there's going to be one you don't use, and that's what goes up here. So what you're going to do is you're going to finish this worksheet. If you do finish with time left in class, there's going to be a link on Google Classroom for you to do when you are all complete.